Is standing by to present the next set of reports for us from that axis. Hello, Hingino.
ECOWAS female legislators, also known as ECOFEPA, are setting an agenda for inclusion of more women in governance, presenting draft articles that will ensure equity in presentation of women in leadership and decision-making positions. This and the need to deepen partnership with African First Ladies are part of key points at the deliberations of the ECOWAS female parliamentarians. Joel Pupola reports.
Established in year 2003 and formally inaugurated on the 4th of March 2010, ECOFEPA has been vocal on issues concerning women and the girl child. The meeting of female ECOWAS legislators, which is part of the extraordinary session of the ECOWAS Parliament, is to strengthen efforts towards creating a region devoid of exclusion, oppression, injustice and discrimination against women and girls. The parliamentarians and ECOWAS officials considered the draft constitution clause by clause with suggestions on grey areas in the articles under scrutiny.
I want to suggest that the third president slot should be left for a member, not an associate member.
Article 8, which dwelt on the objective of ECOFEPA, will be reviewed in May this year, while issues of funding were also addressed.
We have included activities, fundraising, and donations, grants, and what that can help us. So we can put that, we can start with fundraising so that we can find monies to, to build our budget. And also we have to meet with our first ladies. For us in Sierra Leone, initially we are 12, and now we have 30% of female representation in my country, and we have gender policy, and all the institutions, we have gender decks.
The activity plan of the body for year 2025 was also ratified by the parliamentarians, while other salient reforms will be extensively discussed at the next extraordinary session of ECOWAS. In Lagos, Joel Bukwola, NTANews.
To preserve the ecosystem that supports life on Earth, wildlife protection and control must be one of the primary focus of everyone, especially with effects of climate change and unrestrained human activities on the increase. This is the conviction of environmentalists who gave their views on the importance of wildlife. Lanre Belay has details.
From the tropical region to the plain savanna field of the Serengeti, wildlife is part of Africa's ecosystem. It is unimaginable to think of Africa. Lately, increased human activities and climate change have adversely affected wildlife, leading to drastic reduction in their population and even extinction in some cases.
A lot of the indigenous wildlife is now going into extinction, and extinction is forever. And what we're talking about here is the web of life, the various strands that give us our life support system. And like any web, if you remove certain strands, the system starts to get weak. And eventually, there can be one last strand that you remove, and the web of life will collapse.
Since wildlife is important in the ecosystem, protecting the animals is key, as their decimation may spare doom to planet Earth.
As humans, we are dependent on our wildlife resources for our survival. Agriculture, it's dependent on it. Pollination is dependent on it. And then you see, even drugs from human medicine and all that is dependent on our forest and our forest resources. The animals and the plants make up the wildlife. The air we breathe, the very air we breathe, it's cleaned up by the forest.
Environmentalists maintain that apart from stepping up enlightenment programs, volunteering, advocating, supporting sustainable agriculture, protecting endangered species will also be required to protect wildlife, which invariably means sustenance of biodiversity. In Lagos, Lanre Belay, NTA News.
Those are the stories from Lagos.